There was some wild drama that was taking place with former SafeMoon employees and with SafeMoon yesterday, and this is happening over on Twitter Spaces. And how did the CEO of SafeMoon respond? Well, you might be pleasantly surprised. I'm going to go ahead and share with you more details on that. But first, I want to say a special shout out thank you to our Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to Rem AG, as well as Xavier Zamora for being higher tiered supporters. We have 34 Patreon supporters right now. If you want to be able to join that list, you can get in for as little as $1 a month. There's a link in the description. And I'm sorry if you hear tap dancing in the background right now. That is my roommate's dog. Okay, hopefully that's better. I just closed the door. Also, please keep in mind that I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to do your own research. And with that being said, let's get into the news here. So, touching on some of the stuff that happened in the Twitter spaces as of yesterday, there was a SafeMoon After Dark. I popped on in, and lo and behold, I was hearing all kinds of crud going on. Thomas, also known as Papa, former member working at SafeMoon, had gone on and he was essentially trying to say, look, guys, I'm trying to get a hold of John. I took a look at the SafeMoon version 2 contract. Some things didn't look quite right. I had somebody else that reached out to me and they had looked over this thing and they felt like there was some stuff that was kind of wrong with it. And so I'm trying really hard to get a hold of him. There were some things though that were being said, and I'm sorry if you guys are big supporters of Thomas. I'm not trying to drive a specific narrative. I just want to be clear on what I heard, and you guys can always go do your research and talk to other people and stuff. But from what I understand, Thomas had said, and this is what I heard him say, that when he found out about this, it was only about 15 or 30 minutes before he joined that Twitter space. This was pretty late at night. West Coast time, we're talking this was around 10:30 at night, if I remember correctly. So that's Pacific Standard Time. He said that after he had found this out, he then had tried to call John, but John didn't answer. If John is in the United Kingdom right now, then it was really late at night for him. If he's over here in the United States, it was probably pushing close to around midnight or so. He very well could have been trying to catch up a little bit of sleep as he's been trying to prepare to get this launch for version 2. It was the same day as the launch of SafeMoon version 2. So he could have been asleep, right? Anyway, so Thomas said that he tried reaching out to him. He didn't answer. And so he went to social media on Twitter as all this approach trying to find ways so somebody could get a hold of him. And then he was trying to really stress like, oh, it is important. But apparently it's not so important that it's breaking everything. Like we're all just going to lose our money kind of a thing. It wasn't that severe of an issue. It was like, hey, there's some things that looks like they need to be changed from what I looked at. I'm trying to get a hold of him so he can get this stuff changed as soon as possible. But he decided to take it to Twitter, and that's where a lot of people really started to have issues with Thomas on this. It's like, go handle that privately. We don't need to be taking this crap on a public platform. John, you said he's your friend. You're doing this stuff. It creates a lot of fear inside the community space. He worked with other people. He very well could have reached out to some of these other people that he knew. He could have waited till the morning. But instead, going into the space, next thing we know, just long story short, started leading into things where he then at one point had said about John, the CEO, his phone, that his phone had been hacked 3 times. And the host said, well, we don't have any validated information for that. And Thomas was like, I just told you. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have any proof. And Thomas is like, well, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just letting you know, right? And so it's kind of at that point that the host didn't really have it anymore. And he's like, okay. So he kicked him out. Now, Thomas then responded over on Twitter. He was pretty upset. And he's like, did I just get kicked out or disconnected or what happened? It's like, oh, is tonight the night? I guess tonight's going to be the night. So I responded to him and I just sort of let him know, like, hey, can you just go to sleep? Message John, one of the associates, like, handle that, not here kind of a thing. I was saying more or less that on Twitter. And so he decided to host his own Twitter space anyways. When he hosted his own Twitter space, then we had all these other people that started coming into the Twitter space that were former SafeMoon employees as well. Ragnar, for example, who is the community manager. They had Hank come on in. They had some other people that are very questionable. Maybe you guys like them, maybe you don't. okay? But it was like, for example, DeFi Matt was inside the space. He's the guy that used to work at SafeMoon, and then he was let go. He had created his own separate token while he was working at SafeMoon. That token had been rug pulled, and anyways, there were a couple people that people have said that are kind of questionable on these things. So I popped in afterwards. I listened in for just a tad bit. They had touched on things like, for example, with Hank. Hank had said there's an audio recording that's leaked. You can find it on YouTube where I guess supposedly he was drunk and it was a Discord call and it was with him and a group of other people. And Hank was going off about how he was upset when he leaves. John better pay him the $3 million severance pay. Or else, like, he's not going to give him the Discord or the Twitter because he owns possession of those for this official SafeMoon Twitter and Discord, right? In the call last night, Hank had said, look, I was really mad at the time. He seemed like he was admitting that what he did was wrong at that point in time. He was saying that other people had been getting severance packages. He had been working 80 hours a week. This is what Hank claimed. He said he was working 80 hours a week, and then there was like a 2-week period where he wasn't working that much. So it was kind of like a window time span. And then when he left, supposedly he didn't actually get the severance plan. He didn't push for it or something. And also that he was owed some SafeMoon, and he didn't push for that either. So I guess he tried to leave on good terms, and he just said, like, you know what? Like, I don't even forget it. And he just left. That's from my understanding. Something that was quite confusing is that I then heard around this point in time that Thomas had made a public statement that he does own SafeMoon. He owns $1 million worth of SafeMoon. And I guess this was given from SafeMoon Dev. This is conflicting because we had been told previously by Thomas, I remember specifically in Discord when it was the Papa discussion, or it might have been price discussion at the time, and then they made it over Papa discussion. He said that he doesn't own any SafeMoon. And then he created a new wallet address, and he said this could be the donation wallet address if you guys want to send me some SafeMoon, I guess. And they ended up pinning that in the Discord so people could go and look and find it. I looked at that recently, maybe a week or two ago. There wasn't a lot in there. It was maybe like $600, $800. Nothing super, super crazy like this $1 million that they're talking about. So it's quite odd that he's making statements on things and it's conflicting itself. There's a couple instances of stuff. I'm not trying to totally bash on Thomas. Sorry if it sounds like that. I'm just pointing out the things that I had kind of noted from yesterday. So something else was that Thomas had said that the version 2 contract was not his contract. What has Thomas been working on? What is it that John had changed? It's my kind of led belief that the legacy issues John had mentioned that was probably what Thomas had worked on for his contract, and then they decided to make some subtle alterations on some things that they felt was in the best interest moving forward. The official launch takes place. You're not on a test net anymore. You're now on mainnet. Everything that's going out and being experienced is what it is. And so leading up to the point, we're finally here. How did the CEO of SafeMoon respond? So somebody had said, it literally does. And we discussed in depth on the Thomas Twitter space just this morning. Please do not say it doesn't when it does. People who are still on version 1 are getting reflections from each person who changes to version 2. This was confirmed by Hound when he joined briefly and said they're looking at the ways to fix it. And so then John responded to this saying, we don't react. We take time to assess the field and then come up with the best course of action. Being reactive was version 1 SafeMoon. We are now version 2. We make educated decisions and move based on the data, right? That was one bit of information that he had responded to. And then another bit that he had responded to was in regards to his phone, which, let's see, hopefully I can find it right here. Somebody had said, John, is that real? Your phone hacked 3 times. Papa said that in Twitter space. And John responded saying, no, my phone has not been hacked. I won't be talking about what is said on Twitter spaces. And he basically just leaves it at that, guys. He said, in response to someone else, he said, why not talk about it? Because it's not, John then said, because it's noise, and I don't care for it. People are free to say what they want, and I bear no ill will towards folks, as that is ill will, and hate weighs you down to where you cannot accomplish the mission. So John is focused. Thomas had even said in the Twitter Spaces last night that SafeMoon for John is his child. And he was like, I'm not trying to make that sound weird or anything like that. He's like, look, John does not have kids. Thomas does. Thomas and some of the other people, one of the things that they're complaining about is the fact that they were getting lots of death threats. And that some of their extended family members were receiving these death threats. And it was stressful for them. The long hours of work that they were doing was stressful for them, from what they were claiming. Which also seems quite odd, because supposedly Thomas was never actually employed with SafeMoon, from what he was saying. So how did he have a commitment to this if he wasn't employed with them? Supposedly he was employed with Tao, something called Tao, and he said that he's no longer employed with that, so he's free to kind of talk about whatever he wants now. The whole situation last night just seemed really out of left field. It seemed unprofessional, didn't seem like it needed to be addressed in a public environment or public space, and just was weird. And a lot of people seem to be really upset about this. I don't know what your perspective is on it. You can let us know in the comments down below. But what I wanted to really focus on here is, how did the CEO of SafeMoon handle this? John, out of the public individuals that we know, Hank, right? You've got Papa, aka Thomas. You've got, the whole slew of people. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I'm not the best when it comes to names, to be honest with you. Those people are gone. John has stayed. SafeMoon Dev relinquished the smart contract to John. John is taking this seriously. He understands the opportunity that's here. He doesn't need to feed into all of this drama. He's like, I am focused and I'm working. We're moving forward. Restructuring the team, new individuals coming in, filling the roles that were there before, new opportunities moving forward, new partnerships on the way. SafeMoon version 2 is officially out. The SafeMoon wallet is out for both Android and iOS. SafeMoon Swap is out. There's a bridge that's already out. Like, let's count our blessings here, guys. There are some things that came out this year that were quite amazing for within a 1-year time frame for a project, and there's still a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. But now that version 2 is out, it's so much more exciting because it is actually moving forward. Let us know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. I'm proud of John personally. There's referral links in the description. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. It does help us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Click the bell icon so you know whenever we go live, and I will see you in the next episode.